Hello and welcome to Vlogmas day 1. So I thought it'd be fun if I just do my makeup, a little get ready with me while I talk about all my favorite Christmas movies. This includes classics, more modern, and of course I gotta include some horror in there as well. So if that interests you, then keep on watching. I was debating what foundation to use, but I'm gonna use this one because after this I will have to go out. I have to do a couple of things and I want one that I know is gonna last a while on me and not be too oily, and this one's great for that. Plus I'm also trying out the Milk Makeup matte setting spray and I'm really gonna put it to the test now today. I just love this one so much. So who else loves to watch holiday movies, whether it's the cheesy ones or the musical ones or even the ones that are like horror related? Let me know your favorite ones in the comment section. I'm curious. But the first one I want to talk about is actually Elf, and not to be confused with the makeup brand Elf. It's called Elf and it's the one with Will Ferrell. I love him. He's so freaking funny. I love all of his movies and this one is no exception. So let me just tell you a little bit about it in case you've never seen it. I highly recommend this one. Will Ferrell plays Buddy. That's his character's name. He was accidentally transported when he was a toddler to the North Pole and raised among Santa's elves. So he has the uniform. He grew up there. He studied there. They taught him how to make toys and stuff like that. But he's a human, and everybody knows that he's a human except for him. So when he becomes an adult, I think it was actually Santa who told him the truth that he was human, or it was one of the elves. I can't remember. So once he finds out, he's unable to shake the feeling that he doesn't belong. He feels like he doesn't belong anymore. So he goes in search for his real father. They told him he lives in New York. He's a businessman. And all by himself, he leaves the North Pole and goes to New York, which of course he encounters a lot of situations along the way. And while he gets in New York, it's a completely different world, out of all the places in New York, So he finds his father, which works in a big building. He's super fancy. He's a really, respectful businessman. Obviously, the father didn't believe him when he said that he was his son. So they get a DNA test and it proves that he is his son. So he tries to introduce him to his family. He has another son at this point, and it's just that Buddy is so childlike and so innocent that he's trying to get used to him, but so many things happen along the way. It just is chaotic and funny. This is a movie that I could watch all year long. I don't really just watch it on December or whatever because it's so freaking funny. So if you haven't seen it, oh my gosh, put it on your list because it's so freaking funny. I'm gonna set my face now because I think that helps my makeup last longer in terms of getting oily. And I'm using the Milk Makeup Setting Spray. This is the matte one. Okay, so the next one on my list is A Christmas Carol. This one's with Jim Carrey. I love Jim Carrey. That's another comedian that I love. And I believe when this one came out, I watched it in 3D because they had it available. You could watch it normally or you could watch it in 3D. It looks so amazing, the sceneries. It was so good. I remember that one because it was 3D. So of course Jim Carrey plays Scrooge, which is crazy that he plays Scrooge and he also played the Grinch. Okay, so I gotta say that I haven't seen this one in particular in a very long time, so I think I'm gonna watch it this year because I remember it, but I don't remember it exactly because it's been so long. So it says Though London awaits the joyful arrival of Christmas, bitter Scrooge, played by Jim Carrey, thinks it's all humbug, berating his faithful clerk and cheerful nephew for their view. Later, Scrooge encounters the ghost of his late business partner, who warns that 3 spirits will visit him this night. All the ghosts take Scrooge on a journey through his past, present, and future in the hope of transforming his bitterness. And like I said, the scenery is very, it's just so great. Let me know if you've seen this one. The next one I want to talk about, you know I gotta include some horror ones in here because I do love horror movies, and they have some that are Christmas related. Krampus. If you haven't seen Krampus, it's already a classic. Highly recommended if you're into horror movies as well. Blush, I'm gonna use my Buxom in shade Mykonos. So Krampus, let me tell you a little bit about it. While the holiday season represents the most magical time of the year, ancient European folklore warns of Krampus, a horned beast who punished naughty children at Christmas time. When this dysfunctional family causes young Max to lose his festive spirit, it unleashes the wrath of the fearsome demon. As Krampus lays havoc to the home, the mom, the dad, the sister, and the brother must band together to save one another from this monstrous fate. It's really good. At first, when I first started watching it, I was like, this is so cheesy. Just keep watching it. It gets way better, and then you're gonna realize that you love it. This is another one that I haven't seen in a little while, so it's on my list to watch this month because it really is good. It has a little bit of humor as well, but not that much. For my eyes, I was debating which palette to use. I was like, I want something more festive, you know, colors like red or dark wine. This one came to mind because of this color right here, and also has green. But then I saw that I have the Grinch palette from last year. It's super cute. And I think I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to start with that middle shade. It's like it's called Max, which by the way is the same name as my dog. Next one, I think I've seen it and I just cannot remember it. It's called Violet Night. Again, more of a horror suspense type of movie. So if you don't like those, you have to skip that one. But I think I've seen it, it's just that I can't remember it. So this one says, an entire team of mercenaries break into a family compound on Christmas Eve, taking everyone hostage inside. However, they aren't prepared for a surprise combat. Santa Claus is on the grounds, and he's about to show why this Nick is not so sane. So I have to rewatch this one because honestly I cannot remember it, but I'm pretty sure that I did watch it. So I know this is going to be on my list because I want to watch it and see. This color is very pigmented. Look at that. It matches my shirt, which by the way is all hung over weirdly. I'm going to take that pink now. If it's too shimmery, which I think it is, I'll just switch to another palette that has like similar color but matte. Yeah, this is very shimmery. I don't want to put shimmer up there, you know. But anyway, let me talk about the next movie, which is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which fitting, I'm using the palette. And this is the one by Jim Carrey. That's my favorite one. Any type of Grinch movie, my favorite one is with Jim Carrey. All-time favorite. I'm gonna start with this green here and put it in the inner corner. You have no idea how many times I've watched this movie, and this is another one that I could actually watch like all year round. It doesn't bother me that it's a Christmas movie. I love it that much, especially with Jim Carrey. He's like the best Grinch. So a little bit about this is the live action adaptation of the beloved children's tale by Dr. Seuss. The reclusive green Grinch, played by Jim Carrey, decides to ruin Christmas for the cheery citizens of Whoville. Reluctantly joined by his hapless dog, Max, the Grinch comes down from his mountaintop home and sneaks into the town to swipe everything holiday related from the Who's. However, the bitter Grump finds a hitch in his plans when he encounters the endearing Cindy Lou Who, played by Taylor Momsen, which, by the way, she's in a rock band now and she kicks ass. Who would have thought that Cindy Lou Who turned out to be a rock star? And the name of her band is The Pretty Reckless. I'm pretty sure you've heard songs from them. They're great. They're honestly great. I love them. So I got the green down. I got the maroon color. And now I want to play with the shimmers. And I'm going to pop that right in the middle of those two colors, but I'm debating which shimmer I want to use. I know I don't want the lilac because it's not going to be too festive. They have a green one here, and then they have this one down here, which are almost the same, to be honest. I think I'm going to use the gold one and pop that in right in the center. Oh yeah, that's a good choice. That is a good choice. Yeah, I like that. Actually use the green at the bottom, and I'm going with a darker green here in the corner. So of course I have to talk about Home Alone, especially the first one. That's the only one that I like. They came out with, I think, 3 of those, but my favorite is the first one. It has Macaulay Culkin. That's how he became famous, doing that role. Playing Kevin is the boy's name, and everybody remembers him for that movie. So a little bit of information about this movie is when a bratty 8-year-old Kevin, played by Macaulay Culkin, acts out the night before a family trip to Paris, his mother, played by Catherine O'Hara, makes him sleep in the attic. After the family mistakenly leave and forget him and leave for the airport, Kevin awakens the next day to an empty house and assumes his wish to have no family has come true because he was so angry when he went to bed. He wished he had no family. But his excitement sours when he realizes that 2 con men, played by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, which, by the way, Joe Pesci is amazing and super freaking hilarious. They plan to rob the house, and then Kevin realizes that he alone must protect his family home. And a lot of stuff happened. If you know, you know. I'm going in back with this shade with a liner to line it up down here really close and connect it to the top. So this was great for kids, especially for kids. It has a lot, and it involves a lot of booby traps. Super humorous, great for adults and children. It's a classic. It's truly a classic. The rest are not my favorite. Maybe part 2, but not really. And then the third one, they changed the boy, and nobody liked that one. That was a big flop. Okay, so I have these 2 type of greens because I really want to use this one, but this one doesn't really show up on my waterline for some reason. So I'm gonna go in with the, I don't know, this is a multi-chrome and it leans more purple. Because I also have this one. I think it would look great with the outer corner color. Ooh, what should I do? Let me try this one first to see if it shows up. It never does. And the next one that I want to talk about is The Nightmare Before Christmas, of course, classic. By this point, everybody decorates with Jack Skellington and all the characters. This is a movie that you can see for the holiday season or for Christmas, or both. I like watching both. It doesn't matter. I could watch it at Christmas, I could watch it at Halloween. I love them both. And oddly enough, when this came out in 1993, I didn't even go see it at the theater because I heard it was a musical, and I don't like musicals, so they were going to be singing in it, and I was like, I'm not watching that. I actually watched that maybe a couple of years later when it came out, Like, I don't know where I saw it, but I saw it and I was like, oh, this is so adorable. And then I fell in love with it. And it's one of those musicals that I could actually watch and not get bored with it. Because, like I said, I can't really stand musicals. So this is one of the exceptions for me. Plus, the way it's done and how everything looks, I love that aesthetic. And it's not that long, it's just like an hour and 15 minutes. It's very short. Back then, I did not think it was gonna have this type of fame, but look what happened. It did. It became super famous. So just in case you haven't watched it, which I do know some people that haven't watched this, so in case you're interested, the film follows the misadventures of Jack Skellington in Halloween Town. He's the Halloween Town's beloved Pumpkin King, who has become bored with the same annual routine of frightening people in the real world. So when Jack accidentally stumbles on Christmas Town, all bright colors and warm spirits, he gets a new sense of life. He plots to bring Christmas under his control by kidnapping Santa Claus and taking over the role. But Jack soon discovers even the best laid plans of mice and skeletons, man can go seriously airy, AWRY, whatever that is. Anyway, a lot of things happen along the way of all that, of him kidnapping Santa Claus. It's just so funny. It's so funny. It's definitely one of those movies that it makes you laugh. Plus the music is good, actually. The songs are great. For mascara, I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Lash and Roll, and I bought it to try it out. I'm still testing it out to see how I feel about it, but it's not my favorite. Let me curl my lashes. The next one I want to talk about is Bad Santa. Have you seen that one? It's with Billy Bob Thornton, that's his name. It's super funny. It's more like a dark humor type of movie, and it's definitely for adults. It says, in this dark comedy, Willie, which is played by Billy Bob, and his partner Tony Cox reunited once a year for a holiday con, posing as a small Santa and his elf. They rip off shopping outlets on Christmas Eve. This year, however, Willie is falling apart. He's depressed and alcoholic, and his erotic behavior draws the suspicion of mall security, which is played by Bernie Mac. But when befriending a small boy brings out his kinder side, Willie begins to wonder if there is still some hope for him. So like I said, it's a dark comedy. If you don't like dark comedies, maybe you won't like this one that much. And again, it's more geared for adults. I don't remember this one that much, so I think I'm gonna watch it this month to refresh my memory. But I remember laughing a lot. I do remember that, so I think it's one of the good ones. Okay, this next one I absolutely love. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Because this one's Scrooge, right? But it's played by Bill Murray, which I love him so much. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, I loved his movies. And this one actually came out in 1988. But I'm telling you, it's really good. You gotta watch it. He's the best Scrooge. Plus, he's hilarious. And like I said, out of all the Scrooge movies, this one's right there at the top. So a little info about this one. It says, in this modern take of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, Frank Cross, played by Bill Murray, is a widely successful television executive whose cold ambition nature has given away the love of his life, which is played by Karen Allen. But after firing a staff member on Christmas Eve, Frank is visited by a series of ghosts who give him a chance to evaluate his actions and right and wrongs of his past. The way it's done is really good. I'm using this ColourPop Glowing Lip in shade Girl Please. Love that color. Perfect for the holidays. So this is a film that I enjoy very much. I've seen it a billion times. I've actually seen it a whole bunch of times with my mom. She loves that one. I think that's one of her favorites from Christmas. For highlighter, I almost forgot the highlighter. I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible. This is the lightest shade. I do want to give some honorable mentions because I think they're worthy as well. I just didn't have time to mention all of them. Of course, A Christmas Story is one of them. That's actually my husband's favorite holiday movie. He loves that one. I also wanted to mention The Muppets Christmas Carol. I like that one. I grew up with the Muppets, you know. I love them. Mrs. Piggy, Kermit the Frog. Adorable. So they do have one and it's great. I'm going to actually add that same highlighter in the inner corner. And the other one I want to mention quickly is Jingle All the Way. That one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's actually pretty funny. I didn't think I was gonna like it. Actually, I saw that like 2 years ago for the first time and I liked it. That's why I thought I should briefly mention it. So there's the makeup done. I didn't feel like using false lashes today because I'm giving my lashes a break for a while. I want to see if they actually get stronger without abusing them with so much lash glue. But there you have it. Those are all my favorite holiday movies, including horror ones or just funny ones or dark comedy. It's all in there for different taste and preference. Let me know if I missed one. I know I have a lot more. I just can't remember them right now. But if you have one that's not on the list, then let me know in the comment section because I would love to watch it and see if I like it too. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully this Vlogmas situation works out. I hope you guys enjoy it and watch all of them and leave a comment, whatever it is. It could be anything. You could just leave the word hi and I'll be okay with it. Because I know I have a lot of silent watchers as well, but if you could just leave a little hi, that helps me out. I hope you're having a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!